morning. Welcome to graduation in this, the 239th year of our school. Welcome to our seniors, welcome to parents, welcome to families, welcome to friends. We're delighted that you can join us today and help us celebrate the great class of 2020. We'll begin the graduation exercise with welcoming remarks from Senior Class President Audrey Vanderslice.
Good morning. As you're all aware, our country is mourning the tragic murders of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, Breonna Taylor, and the innumerable other innocent Black individuals who lost their lives far too soon due to unconscionable bigotry. Police brutality against Black people, hate crimes, and systemic racism have remained appalling and undeniable sources of shame in our nation's history. They must be eradicated in order to create a better and more just future. Now, we non-Black Exonians have a responsibility to both speak out and take action against racial discrimination, using our privilege to make significant and lasting impact. It is not sufficient to just sympathize from a safely detached distance. We must unequivocally commit to doing everything within our power to support the Black members of our community who are most deeply affected by these atrocities. We can volunteer with organizations dedicated to attaining racial and social justice, reach out to help individuals in need, donate if feasible, and always continue to listen and learn. Please join me in observing 60 seconds of silence to honor the lives of George Floyd, Ahmaud Arbery, and Breonna Taylor, as well as the countless other victims of the egregious racial injustice which plagues our nation. While this moment of silence accords the victims the respect that they deserve, we need to take the action. The following remarks were written a month ago and pre-recorded in the midst of the COVID-19 crisis. Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for being here on this special day. As I welcome you to the graduation exercises of the class of 2020, I must first deeply thank the extraordinary graduation committee. They're the reason we can celebrate this occasion together, even as we're dispersed throughout the world. I also extend our limitless gratitude to Principal Rawson, the deans, and the administration. Over the last few months, their tireless efforts have ensured our safety and well-being without letting this virus stop our growth as a unified community. Thank you to each and every parent watching for allowing us to attend such a wonderful school. Today, more than any other, I hope you see just how much the class of 2020 has grown, individually and together. And finally, for being the primary reason we've arrived at this day strong, sane, and smarter than we were when we first stepped foot on campus, we have the incomparable Exeter faculty to thank. We will miss you more than you know. My friend Sam once told me that he could chart the depth of his connection to Exeter by the number of times a week he called home. During our first term on campus, we were so eager to fill in our parents, our friends, our guardians back home on every new adventure we had, calling them several times a day. When we needed their advice on what to wear to our first class, we called home. When we realized we didn't know how to write an email to a teacher, we called home. As those days became weeks and then months, though, the span of time between each phone call increased. We figured out how to carry our line cards without a lanyard, realized the trays in D Hall are there just for decoration, and remembered to always wave to cars when crossing Front Street. We adapted and adjusted and grew, relying more than ever before on ourselves and on each other. So much so that by the time the trees bloomed in front of Seoul, Spikeball on the quad, and Stillwell's runs, along with more papers and math hand-ins than we could count, were keeping us too busy and fully focused on the present to answer fussy texts from parents making sure we were still alive. Now 4 years older and eons wiser than those former selves, we face challenges different from any we've encountered or could have anticipated. We find ourselves up against a world on fire, a world lit by not only this global pandemic, but racial injustice, widening socioeconomic disparities, a healthcare system pushed to the brink, climate change, and countless other domestic and international dilemmas. This is where our Exeter education reveals just how invaluable it is and will always be. We've spent up to 4 years in an academic and social community unlike any other, one in which daring discourse, relentless rigor, selfless collaboration, and a profound affection for our community drove our studies and day-to-day life. Every experience we've had, even and especially the most daunting ones, has taught us exactly what we were meant to know. We've acquired knowledge not just about the subjects we learned and extracurricular activities we joined, but how to derive strength and inspiration from one another. Remember what it felt like walking into the first day of that AP STEM class you weren't sure you could pass? Trying out for that intimidating new club or main stage production you never thought you'd get into? What about blasting music in the bathroom while you and your dorm mate showered at 3 a.m? Those memories will remain with us always, and no amount of uncertainty about the future can rob us of those small yet sneakily significant moments we've enjoyed over these transformative years. Even though we cannot be together in person for this memorable moment, the graduation ceremony matters far less than the milestones it honors. The life-altering friendships have already been made. The facts and theories have already been absorbed. And the love we will always share for one another and our beloved school has already been etched in our hearts. Every uniquely individual and common unifying experience has prepared us to not simply defend ourselves against whatever life throws our way, but to positively change the new communities of which we will now become a part. So as our generation is called upon to respond to multiple global challenges, I know that the class of 2020 will be on the front lines. A trialed world is one of endless opportunity, and we get to decide what to do with this one. We could not be better prepared. I used to think that being an Exonian was about being physically present at Exeter. After all, most of our memories at PEA consist of going to dinner at Elm on Sunday nights and shouting hello to friends across the quad no matter how late we are to our next class or meeting. But now that we've experienced our final term off campus and seen what we can do together from afar, I realize that being an Exonian has nothing to do with where we happen to be residing at the time. It's who we are, the values we cherish, the choices we make. When we entered quarantine, we started calling each other. When we miss each other, when we encounter hurdles, when something exciting happens, our instinct has been to share those moments with one another. We are no less Exonians than we were during our previous terms on campus. Everything we learned there traveled home with us. And we've used it. We've used it to raise thousands of dollars to support members of our own community, share beautiful writing, art, and culinary masterpieces, and start new known CIBI initiatives in our respective neighborhoods. Exeter will always live within us. In the years to come, we may find ourselves living in various dorm rooms, apartments, or back in our childhood bedrooms. But Exeter will always be our home. Throughout our lives, we'll still call our families, the ones we were born into and the ones we've created. But from now on, not all of those calls will be to our parents, relatives, or childhood friends, because checking in on family now includes reaching out to one another. When we take on issues as great as the ones we're facing now, we will be calling on each other for help in solving them. We've each played a vital part in weaving a web that will now allow us to forge ahead in separate directions without ever severing our ties. And those ties won't span merely from Main Street to the Academy Fields, but from one end of the world to the other. Make no mistake, what we have created here is permanent. Long after the pandemic is over and we are each onto our next big challenge, those friendships and bonds will remain. This crisis has given us clarity about what and who really matters. Our time at Exeter has concluded, but we're taking away countless parting gifts. The ability to make wise choices, the resilience to remain strong and steadfast, even in the midst of chaos, and of course, our enduring closeness. We are deeply fortunate to have been able to create a home worth missing so much. So fellow graduates of the class of 2020, call home once in a while. No matter how much time has elapsed, we'll want to hear from each other, and we will always answer. And no matter how many miles we wander from the campus on which we grew and learned, smiled and cried and lived and loved, we will still be Exonians, always.
I'd like to thank Audrey for those very thoughtful remarks. It's now my honor and privilege to recognize retiring members of the faculty. I'll read their names and titles and also their years of service. So I begin with Richard S. Aronian, Harlan Page Amen Professor of Science and Instructor in Science and former Chair of the Science Department, 49 years. Zite Chen, Instructor in Mathematics, 22 years. Jean C. Farnham, Instructor in Physical Education, 39 years. Michael W. Golay, Instructor in History, 21 years. Richard A. Hardy, Steyer Distinguished Professor and Instructor in Mathematics, former Chair of the Mathematics Department, and former Assistant Director, Director, and Dean of Admissions of Exeter Summer, 33 years. Constance Morse, Associate Director of Counseling and Psychological Services and Counselor, 23 years. Amy D. Schwartz, Instructor in History, 19 years. D. Carrie Wendell, Designer and Technical Director in the Theater and Dance Department, 25 years. Joseph R. Wolfson, George Albert Wentworth Distinguished Professor of Mathematics and Instructor in Mathematics, and former Chair of the Mathematics Department, 33 years. And finally, Lee D. Young, Senior Associate Director of Admissions and Admissions Officer, 33 years. I'd like to thank our retiring faculty for their dedication and commitment to our school over their lengthy periods of service. I'd like to thank them for the ways they have supported their students and supported each other. We're deeply grateful, and we ask that they stay close to our school. They'll always be a part of Exeter. Thank you. It's now my pleasure to welcome Dean of Faculty Ellen Wolfe to the podium to present honors and awards.
Good morning and welcome. It is an honor for me to participate on behalf of the entire Exeter faculty in the celebration of this important day. To all the family and friends who are watching, I want to say thank you for having shared your loved ones with us and for the privilege of allowing us to coach and teach and advise and learn from them during their time here at Exeter. To our seniors and to all our students, I want to say we have missed you more than we can say. And though the Academy lawn is empty, I can say on behalf of the faculty that our hearts are full. Before we begin, I do need to say, this is a hard and dark and tragic time. And this is a day to celebrate you. So that is what we are going to do, hoping all the while that you are well and that you are safe. We will be announcing 3 sets of awards this morning. The first is a group of prizes that we usually announce at our annual prize assembly. The second is a collection of endowed scholarships. And the last are the annual commencement awards and prizes. So we'll start with the prizes given to seniors that are usually announced at the annual prize assembly, which this year we have moved to the commencement program. I will pause a bit after the announcement of each award to make space and time for what I hope will be a lot of long-distance applause and celebration. The first award is the Philip Curtis Goodwin Class of 25 Athletic Award. Usually presented by the Director of Athletics, this award is given annually to the 4-year students who best embody the qualities of sportsmanship and participation. This year, the Goodwin Athletic Award goes to Will Coogan and Danisha Roll. The Wyzanski Prize. Given in honor of Judge Charles Wyzanski, this prize is awarded to a student whose ethical beliefs and practices have contributed significantly to the welfare of the Academy or community. The award this year goes to Matthew Wabunoa. The Warren Berk Shepherd Class of '84 Award. In the spring of 1980, a boy named Warren Shepherd was admitted to Exeter's prep class for the following fall, the class of 1984. At the time, Warren was a student at the American Community School in Halandri, Greece, where his father was stationed in the United States Foreign Service. Warren never realized his dream of attending Exeter. In June 1980, he died of pulmonary hepatitis. Knowing how much Warren had looked forward to being a student at the Academy, his family and friends established a prize to be given annually in his name to a student who tries hardest to realize the Exeter opportunity, as the award's namesake would have. In addition to the award presented today, a plaque that signifies the award and its recipients hangs in the office of the Dean of Students. This year, there are 2 recipients, and they are Mai Huang and Pepper Peroni. The James A. Sneed Class of 1971 Memorial Prize. This prize honors a distinguished alumnus, recognizing some of the qualities and areas of interest that were essential to him. It is given to students who have written effectively on multicultural themes, who have contributed to the evolution of a non-racist culture in the community, or who have exemplified a passion for the humanities that promises to be lifelong. 2 recipients of this award this year, and they are Johan Martinez and Tatum Shutt. The David T. Swift Award. Established to honor David Swift, a former math teacher and dean of students, this award recognizes significant contributors to the dorms in which they live, helping to create a positive residential experience at Exeter. So this year we have 8 student proctors who are receiving this award, and I'll list them in alphabetical order. They are Katya Davis of Merrill, Sam Farnsworth of Wentworth, Kelly Mee of McConnell, Ree Murphy of Lamont, Josh Riddick of Peabody, Claudia Sanchez of Hoyt, Nathan Sun of Abbott, and Irvin Williams of Peabody. Congratulations, proctors. So we'll turn now to the second group of awards. These are the Endowed College Scholarships. The Academy has been the fortunate recipient of gifts that established endowed scholarships to a number of specific colleges and universities. Many of these funds were endowed decades ago, and as you will hear, some of their deeds stipulate that the scholarships be awarded only to students attending particular colleges or universities. Given today's tuitions, the scholarship awards themselves are relatively modest, but we trust that the recognition given by the scholarships is meaningful. This year, we will award 14 endowed scholarships, in some instances to multiple recipients. We will start with 4 scholarships to be used for the first year at Harvard. The James Dwight Arnold Memorial Scholarship goes this year to Sophia Cho and Angelina Zhang. The Lindsay Crawford Memorial Scholarship goes to Audrey Vanderslice. The George Sutro Lowenstein Memorial Scholarship goes to Mahdi Hamad. And the Warren Williams Jr. Memorial Scholarship goes to Nathan Sun and Dacha Thurber. We have 1 scholarship to be used for each of a student's 4 years at Harvard. It is the Hubert E. Teschmacher 1874 Scholarship. We have 2 recipients this year, and they are Mai Huang and Ayush Nouri. The remaining endowed scholarships are for use at other colleges. We will start with the John Parker Compton 1943 scholarships for the first year at college, with a preference given for Princeton. 10 recipients this year, and again, I will read them in alphabetical order. They are Benjamin Kai, Shayla Coombs, John Hawkins, Brian Cook, Johan Martinez, Oluwatisi Okeremi, Natalia Rivera, Isadora Rivera Janer, Destiny Renee Rogers, and Irvin Williams. The Stephen E. Hyde 1964 Memorial Scholarship is given for the first year at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, and the award this year goes to Will Coogan. The Kappa Sigma War Memorial Scholarship. We have 1 recipient this year, and that person is Genesis Reyes. The Hinckley Stedman Fund Scholarships. We have 8 of these this year in alphabetical order. They are Janalee Cobb, David Gonzalez, Anna Yacobucci, Virginia Little, Gannon Stephen McCorkle, Josh Riddick, Tatum Shutt, and Matthew Wabunoha. The Perrin Fellowship, established by James Perrin, class of 46, and his late wife, Martha Bodell Perrin. The Perrin Fellowship supports a year of independent travel and study, permitting recent Academy graduates to expand their cultural horizons and to stimulate further development of their individual potential. We have 2 winners of the Perrin Fellowship this year. They are Mai Huang and Elizabeth Costina. The Robert Wilson Kessler Scholarship is given to a student who is proposing an interim program of study or travel outside of Exeter, and the winner of the Kessler Scholarship is Jade Goulet. The E.S. Wells Kerr Memorial Scholarship, to be used for the first year at Princeton. This scholarship goes to 2 students this year, and they are Evan Chandran and Madison Machado. The Timothy G. Taylor Trust Scholarships are given to students who are continuing their education in the field of the performing arts. We have 2 winners of this scholarship this year, and they are Paula Perez Glassner and Alicia Simmons. And finally, the last of the endowed scholarships, the Vanderwall College scholarships, are awarded to 2 seniors who have been at the Academy for 2 or more years and who hold the highest academic rank and have earned varsity letters in 2 or more sports. The winners of these scholarships this year are Lucy Gilchrist and Billy Mencken. Congratulations to all of the scholarship recipients. Turning now to the third and final set of awards, the commencement prizes and awards. We will start with the Yale Cup. Awarded each year by the Aurelian Society of Yale to a member of the senior class who best combines the highest standards of character and leadership with excellence in their studies and in athletics. The winner of this year's Yale Cup is Billy Mencken. The Ruth and Paul Sadler Class of 1923 Cup, also awarded each year to a member of the senior class who best combines the highest standards of character and leadership with excellence in their studies and in athletics. The Sadler Cup goes to Bees Denser. The Perry Cup, established by the class of 1945 in honor of Dr. Lewis Perry, 8th principal of the Academy, and given annually to a senior who has shown outstanding qualities of leadership and school spirit. The Perry Cup goes to Ayush Noori. The Williams Cup, established in memory of George Lind Richardson, Jr., and given annually to a student who, having been in the Academy 4 years, has, by personal qualities, brought distinction to Phillips, Exeter. This award goes to Lucy Gilchrist. The Eskie Clark Award, given annually to that scholarship student in the graduating class who, through hard work and perseverance, has excelled in both athletics and scholarship in a manner exemplified by Eskie Clark of the class of 1919. The winner of the Eskie Clark Award is Gannon Stephen McCorkle. The Cornell Award. The Thomas H. Cornell Award, based on a vote by the senior class, is awarded annually at graduation to that member of the graduating class who best exemplifies the Exeter spirit. The winner of the Cornell Award is Ayush Noori. The Multicultural Leadership Prize is awarded annually to the member of the graduating class who has most significantly contributed to educating the community about and fostering greater understanding of topics of race, ethnicity, socioeconomic status, gender, nationality, sexual orientation, ability, religion, spirituality, or other aspects of identity. We have 3 winners of this prize this year, and they are Caladria or Kiki Aguilar, Elizabeth Costina, and Genesis Reyes. The Cox Medals, given by Oscar S. Cox in memory of his father, Jacob Cox. The Cox Medals are awarded each year to the 5 members of the graduating class who, having been 2 or more years at the Academy, have attained the highest scholastic rank. This year, the awards are given to, in alphabetical order, Iwan Desai, Lucy Gilchrist, Mai Huang, Marcel Kelly, and Ayush Noori. And finally, the Faculty Prize for Academic Excellence. given to that member of the graduating class who, having been 2 or more years in the academy, is recognized on the basis of scholarship as holding the first rank. This year, the prize is given to Mai Huang. Congratulations on behalf of the entire Exeter faculty to all the award winners and to all the members of the extraordinary class of 2020.
Thank you, Ellen, and congratulations to our seniors upon the receipt of those awards and honors. They represent not only great achievement, but also very significant contributions to our school and to your classmates. And for that, we honor you, we recognize you, and we thank you. Members of the class of 2020, soon you will be graduates of Phillips Exeter Academy. This certainly is not the graduation ceremony you had in mind when you left for spring break, nor is it the graduation ceremony we would like you to have. But I have great admiration for this senior class, and I am proud of all that you have accomplished during your time at Exeter, and I consider it a privilege and honor to deliver a farewell address. I would like to begin by recognizing your families and thanking them for the role they have played in supporting your time and education at Exeter. Ordinarily, I would ask you to thank them as well, with rousing cheers and applause. That is hard to do virtually. I hope you have already thanked your parents and families many times over, and that you will do so again today. I'd also like to take a moment to recognize and thank all of the adults on campus who have played a significant role in your time here. Your teachers, advisors, coaches, trainers, counselors, nurses, custodians, campus safety officers, our dining and facilities management teams, those who admitted you and those who counseled you into college, our advancement and special events teams, and everyone behind the scenes, including IT and communications. I know you would like to express your gratitude with cheers and applause. Again, not possible under the circumstances. I hope during your time on campus you have expressed your appreciation freely and often to everyone who has supported you, and that you will continue to do so with emails, letters, and in person whenever you have the opportunity. I have rather vague memories of my Exeter graduation 49 years ago. It was held in the stadium. The day was hot and sunny. It is only natural that memories of that day fade with time. But I will never forget a brief conversation that occurred after the ceremony when one of my teachers spoke to my father. My father had been able to visit Exeter only twice during my 3 years here, so this was a first encounter. I do not remember exactly what my teacher said, but I'll always remember how it made me feel to hear my teacher say a few words about me, about my role at the school, things that I never could have said myself, but that I suddenly realized I wanted my father to know. I was looking forward to having many similar conversations with your families today, reflecting on how you have made a difference here and how you have contributed to the life of the school. Of course, I was not intending to do this alone. Your teachers, coaches, and advisors, and all the other adults who have helped shape your experience here also were eager to share with your families just how much your time at Exeter mattered and how much you have given back to this community. There is so much we could talk about. We might start with your contributions in your classes and your many academic achievements and distinctions, but your impact goes way beyond the classroom. I think immediately of your art shows and your senior projects, including senior projects that we enjoyed this week. So many great performances in the Bold and in the Goel Center for Theater and Dance. Numerous student assemblies showcasing your talents, passions, and voices. Senior meditations in Phillips Church and online this spring. MLK Day introductions and unsilenced voices the night before. Athletic victories and tough defeats, both handled with dignity and grace. Singular moments in sports, an overtime score, a record-setting performance, an unexpected pass or surprising save, a block or a spike. I think of your leadership of ESO, our student clubs, the Exonian, and the other print and online publications that you have led and in some instances created during your time here. I think of the leadership you have provided as class officers and as student council officers and committee chairs. I think of your roles as proctors and student listeners and your leadership of our student affinity groups and how you have led prayers, performed musically, or given readings at various religious services. Of course, I have in mind all that you have done this spring term to create virtual community and hold us together during our time apart. In every aspect of school life, seniors, you have led the way, set a high standard, and made a positive difference. You have challenged the school to live up to its mission and ideals. You have spoken out when you felt the school was falling short. You have supported each other in all that you do. You have formed lifelong friendships. Our mission as a school is to unite goodness and knowledge and inspire youth from every quarter to lead purposeful lives. In all the ways I've just described, you have been growing in knowledge and goodness and laying the foundation for your own purposeful lives. You are now ready to take your next steps. In time, you will decide how you will live a life of purpose and meaning beyond Exeter. You don't have to know now. You have time to reflect, to ponder your place in the world, to explore your current passions and find new ones. But you leave Exeter with the foundation you need. But taking any next step right now might seem particularly difficult in the midst of a global pandemic that has upended your lives. Things that we took for granted 3 months ago suddenly are beyond our control. The pandemic has changed our understanding of the world. It has made more evident how we're all connected, how we can come to each other's aid, and how the actions of one person can lead to the harm and even death of many others. And it has made even more glaring the racial inequities in our society and world that have been plainly visible all along. Foremost on my mind this morning are the deaths of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud Arbery. 3 human beings, 3 black lives lost, 3 more black lives lost. We watch in horror, and I feel sickened by this latest evidence of our enduring legacy in this country of anti-black violence. The long history and current reality of racial hatred, violence, and injustice in this country will remain after the pandemic is over. As a country, as a school, we must choose to address the systemic racism that black people and other people of color face each and every day. At Exeter, we will examine honestly and acknowledge our history and our present reality. We will condemn racial hatred, violence, and injustice, and the pervasive inequality that results. We will make it a priority to be actively and effectively anti-racist. This is about our common humanity. Seniors, you have important work to do also. In my opening assembly remarks last fall, I told you the world needs the kinds of citizens and leaders who will act with empathy, understanding, respect, and humility and engage across differences. I urge you to go out and be those kinds of leaders and citizens as you so often have been right here at Exeter. I have watched diverse groups of students from a wide range of backgrounds learn together, compete together, and support each other. I have listened to you as you have spoken out for equity and inclusion here on campus and in the broader world. Your communities and your fellow citizens need your voice. your empathy, and your leadership. There is hard work to be done. You can do it. We need change on a large scale, but keep in mind that if you change the life of one person, then you have changed the world for that person. If you respect the dignity of every human life, every day, all the time, then you are certain to make a positive difference in the lives of many. Perhaps you remember something I said to you in opening assembly last academic year. I told you to believe in yourselves. I said, as we believe in you, so you should believe in yourselves. That is what I'm telling you now. Believe that you can make a difference in the communities in which you live. Believe that you can change the world. Seniors, I'm coming to the close of my remarks. In a few moments, I will not be able to call you seniors anymore. I hope you'll return to Exeter often to share your stories with future classes of Exonians, and by your example, encourage and inspire them. At each opening assembly, I start by telling every new student that you belong here. At each commencement, I close by telling every graduating student that you will always belong here. And just as you will always belong here, so too you will always belong to each other. You will always be the great class of 2020. Congratulations. Our senior readers will now assist with the awarding of diplomas.
Erin Christine Ahern, Isabella Indrani Ahmad, Sebastianus Klaus Beck, Alphonsus Paulus Bradham, Griffinus Wooden Brown, Sophia Cho, Grace Mora McGinty Ferguson, Patricia Eileen Fitzgerald, Benjamin Howard Holderness, Amy Hyunhee Hong, Madeline Chamblin Ha, Nosahara Praise Lawani, Suan Lee, Samuel Hojan Liu, Virginia Suzanne Donahue Little, Johan Salvador Martinez Arriaga, Zacharias Lauren Morris, Pepper Peroni, Nicolaus Daniel Schwartz, Alexander Laurentius Urquhart, Kevin Kai Shu, Angeli Isabella Yang, Angelina Zhang, Blaine Qinghan Ju, Caladria Rose Aguilar, Erin Alpe Akra, Dennis Enan Ackman, Asha Lakshmi Allah, Sierra Lynn Anderson, Umpai Pun Atipun Umpai, Genesis Leah Baez, Cameron R. Barsano, David Fuller Barr, Sarah Claire Barrett, Thomas Q. Bewley, Rosemary Yael Amira Beck, Andrew Thomas Benson, Nicole Blanco, Orion Miles Bloomfield, Jonathan Ross Bradbury, Saskia Adams Vreda Braden, Penny Evelyn Brandt, Karsten Gregory Bressel, Hannah Elizabeth Brigham, Jenna L. Brooks, Ada Elizabeth Brown, Dawson Anthony Bird, Benjamin Chu Kai, Matteo Calabresi, Paul Daniel Cantave, Michael Anthony Carbone, Genevieve Marie Carchidi,
Emma McClough Serrato, Evan Charles Chandran, Samuel J. Chang, Sophia Cezanne Chang, Matthew Sebastian Chavez, Helena Singtone Chen, Leonard Xiaoxiao Chen, Raymond Chen, Jiaran Chen, Yinggan Cheng, Yuchen Cheng, Thomas McCarty Chmielewski, Audrey Choi, Jill Catherine Clunan, Avery Parker Clues, Janalee Rose Cobb, Leah Kate Cohen, Daniel Nicholas Colon, William J. Coogan, Shayla Grace Coombs, Rose Catherine Coviello, Li Xiu Yuan Dai, Matthew Gordon Darby, Catherine Shaw Davis, Leah Angelique Delacruz, Colt Marshall Delaney, Amelia Ann Demopoulos, Elizabeth Troy Denser, Iwen Lyrica Desai, Serene Tony DeCiso, Niven Kumar Deer, Angel Marie Diamond, Eleanor Lamo Dixie, Patrick James Donahue, Nanesi Karantema Donkor, Gabriel McCormick Driscoll, Tui Tien Duong, Anna Josephine Fahey, Samuel Ward Farnsworth, Valentina Fernandez, Elizabeth Una Fear, Molly Rule Finnegan, Ella Cynthia Ruth Fishman, Caroline Elizabeth Fleming, Cameron Hall Frary, Lisa Fujisawa, Lucy Min Garberg, Carson Telika Garland, Emily Grace Gaw, Mohammed Abdurrahman Gay, Jacob Blumake Gayron, Lucy Fargo Gilchrist, Mia Elizabeth Glynn,
Aiden Joseph Glover, Noel Michael Gomez, David Amir Gonzalez, Grant Michael Goodall, Ben Graham Gorman, Jade Lindsay Goulet, Sanath Govindarajan, Aditya Gaulikar, Adelaide Elizabeth Graham, Lucas Jeremiah Grandison, Ryan Lewis Gruss, Samantha Perry Gumprecht, Anjali Wong Gupta, Meili Wong Gupta, Mahdi Ali Hamad, John Jawu Khan, Benjamin Riker Harding, Ariyaporn Haripotawikul, George William Harrington, Amanda Natalie Harris, Stephanie B. A. Harris, John Goodwin Hawkins, Christopher David Hayworth, Harrison L. He, Kerr Heidinger, Andrew Cooper Higgins, Charles Patrick Higgins, Mai Nuk Sun Huang, Jeffrey Robert Holland Jr., Preston Joseph Horszewski, Isabel N. Howe, Xia Hua, Jason Newman Huang, Richard Huang, Paul Irvin Heisinger, Anna Yacobucci, Zane Alexander Ice, Amir Islamovic, Nathaniel Colby James, Justin Raymond Jameson, Noah Michael Jankowski, Emily Bolden Jetton, Celine June, Janu Kong, Charlotte Grace Kaufman, Emily Rose Kelleher, Edward Otto Keller, Marcel Madeline Kelly, Shad M. Khalil, David T. Kim, Samuel Oliver Kneebone Kim, Carly Jean Kirsch,
Alexander Stephen Kish, Krongkwon Kitichotkun, Brian Jewan Cook, Yasmin Kopmaz, Ademide Adelua Kosoko, Elizabeth Michelle Christina, Mia Kuromaru, Mary Catherine Lavin, Olivia Jane Lazarek, Morgan Lee Lebrun, Annabelle Lee, Bianca Isabel Jessie Jachi Lee. Claudia Stephanie Lee. Ethan T. Lee. Catherine C. Lee. Allison Catherine Lenny. Embelyn Wong Lee. Justin Lee. Ziquan Liao. Brian Hua Liu. Jack Yongqiang Liu. Longchao Liu. James Davis Long. Ryan J. Loring. Bethany Rachel Lucy. Jasper Townsend Luddington. Madison Elizabeth Machado. Fiona Angeline Madrid. Alta E. Magruder. Smile Makashov. Chloe Malakotsis. Kyle Christopher Marshall. Joanna Bridget Martinez. Thomas Peter Borkoff Matheos. Gannon Stephen Thompson McCorkle. Janie Bradford Stevens McGowan. William Augustus Mackenzie Mencken. Kelly Me. Michael Alexander McCullough. Luke Michael Mix. Kennedy Warren Moore. John Gerd Morris. Tyler Joseph Morris. Ramyani Mukherjee. Marina Tavion Murphy. Sarah Elizabeth Newhall. Ayush Nori. Iman Naraga. Alexander Prentice Norton. Finn O'Brien. Dylan Thomas O'Sullivan. Oluwatisi Okuremi. Neil Lucas Owens.
Brian Stephen Palaguachi. Henry Francis Palatroni IV. Thomas Edward Palmer II. Sam Keepum Park. William Sungjae Park. Rihanna Lydia Parla. Benjamin John Peffer. Allison Weston Pendleton. Paula Perez Glassner. Lillian Valerie Pinchiaro. Eric James Porras. Declan Kirk Porter. Robin Joanna Potter. Icy Tanavat Preem. Reese A. Ramirez. Crystal Azucena Reyes. Genesis M. Reyes. Joshua Todd Riddick. Ian Patton Yogi Ryder. Natalia Alexa Rivera. Isadora Rivera Janer. Isabel Emily Robbins. Nico Rokak. Tabor Rodriguez. Jose Gabriel Fontanilla Rodriguez, Destiny Renee Rogers, Denisha Teshel Roll, Giovanna Romero, Sophia Colleen Rosati, Ethan Hughes Rosenthal, Marina Ruiz de Lobera Galvan, Claudia Louise Sanchez, Winter Churgan Sands, Prashant Saxena, Tatum Alaire Shutt, Angus Jack Scott, Gregory Michael Scrontz, Alessia Neve Serafini, Anna Josephine Shaheen, Dylan Chuenwei Shen, Miguel M. Sheetry, Cody Ryan Scheimer, Caitlin Susan Paul Sidthorpe, Francisco Emmanuel Silva III, Alicia Amemba Sirwa Simmons, Jack Michael Simon, Michael Singer, Abigail Rose Smith, Magdalena Grace Smythe, Andrea Z. Young So, Jung Jong Song, James Paul Stoller,
Tia Elizabeth Stockwell, Clara H. Stuckey, Andrew Young Ho Sun, Lucy Sun, Nathan Sun, Yu Yang Sun, Armand Sebastian Tang, Joshua Shuhao Tang, Candy Tanti Charasakul, Elena Catherine Thomas, Cade J. Thompson, Nikita Reddy Thumala, Danilo Austin Thurber, Keegan Tierney, Zeb Stewart Tilton, Shivani Tripathi, Luke Kennesaw Tyner, Selma Unver, Emma Elizabeth Upton, Michael Calvin Valicenti, Audrey Elizabeth Vanderslice, Chaitanya Sai Vankareddy, Emmanuel Antonio Vasquez, Venkat Valanki, Charles Peterson Venci, Julia Vilela Caetano, Matthew Rugomoka Wabunoha, Carrick John Walker, Liam Sudduth Walsh, Milo Harrison Walsh, Maxwell Zhang Wang, Thomas David Wang, Caleb Nathaniel Washington, Olivia K. Watanabe, Phoebe J. Weil, Samantha Eliza Weil, Ryan N. Welch, Irvin Henry Williams, Jr. Emma Hamilton Wilson. Kynesin Thu Win. Rachel Hijo Wan. Gabriel Lewis Wong. Sky L. Woodard. Meredith Williams Warden. Benjamin P. Wright. Velen Yifei Wu. Ryan Alexander Shea. Helen May Shu. Tonghuan Yang. Jasper Pearson Yu. Tsintong Yu. Jian Kai Zhang.
It is my pleasure to present to you the great class of 2020. Congratulations again.